It just said, yeah, it just said it's over.
Wow. Well,
We're live.
Fantastic.
Vinny, we're live.
What's going on, Greg? How are you, man?
Not much. Just fighting through some technology. It's great and a pain in the butt at the same time.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of it, right? That's part of it. Still, I'm very excited about the guest that we're going to have on today. Where are we at with that, by the way?
Actually, it looks like he just popped back in.
Perfect.
We might have to do this back and forth.
Yeah, that's all right. Hey, what's going on, Blane? How are you, man?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Doing well. So we didn't really get to do much of an intro because we ran into some technical difficulties, but I'll just do the intro now. So for those of you who are tuning in and don't know, this is Blane Burnett of Holley. And what's your official title there, Blane?
I am advertising and PR supervisor here at Holley.
So you're really in the mix of it, man. I was really excited to speak with you. Every time we get together and we talk, we always have great conversations. And I don't know, I guess maybe we connect because we're of the same age bracket in an industry that's primarily, comprised of people twice our age.
More mature here and there.
Yeah. That's all right. That's cool. But it's easy to connect with somebody your own age, I think. And so, you've climbed the ranks at Holley, and how long have you been over there?
I have worked at Holley since 2010.
Okay, so
going on a full 10 years.
That's awesome, man. So in that decade, you've really risen, and you've been a part of some really great stuff over there. And I mean, that's really why I wanted to get you on the show today. We have a whole lot to cover, so I guess we'll just jump right into it. I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I hope that doesn't put you off. But the first thing I wanted to talk to you about specifically was LS Fest. It's coming up, and I know everybody wants to talk about it, wants to know about it, and especially me. I got to attend last year's LS Fest West for the first time, and it was a party, man. It was crazy. Tell me about the show. How long has LS Fest been around? How did it get started? Give me the rundown, bro.
Now, did you attend LS Fest West as your first show or East?
Yes, I haven't had a chance to go East yet. LS Fest West was the first foray into it.
Okay, gotcha. I couldn't remember. They're all kind of running together for me now. But so back when I started in 2010 at Holley, I was fresh out of college, and I started working for Bill Tishner, my boss. He's our director of marketing, and he pulled me into his office one day and said, "We've got this new thing we're going to be doing. It's called LS Fest, and it's going to be taking place here in Bowling Green, Kentucky." And so, what it was born out of was just the success. LS Fest West was born out of the success of our LS Fest East event, and that's now in its 11th installation here all these years later.
Wow.
That was Bill's brainchild back in 2010 when we began manufacturing our first LS swap products and LS bolt-on components. We had a few, but really the LS movement was really gaining traction and momentum. So coupling the products from our brands and creating an event focused around the LS engine that we were making those parts for gave our customers an opportunity to come out and enjoy a weekend of performance driving at an event thrown by us. So our first show was understandably smaller with around 160 cars. But since then, it's seen, not to sound like a data person, it's seen linear growth. Every year, it's just gone crazy. And we've had, negative weather conditions some years too, but that doesn't seem to really discourage the crowd from coming out. They know it's going to be a party regardless. We always seem to have like a hurricane coming up during that time of the year from the Gulf. And so anyway, we've had really good luck with connecting with our group that is LS centric. And so this past year in 2019 in Bowling Green anyway, we had about 30,000 people kind of descend upon Bowling Green, Kentucky. And man, I think it was, there was well over 1,000 cars. We were, the number is higher than that. I just don't remember the top number off the top of my head. But So with all the success we've had from our East event, we started hearing via social media, and when we went to events that you go to as well, SEMA, PRI, places like that, people were like, man, I'm out in California, I'm out in Arizona, when are you guys going to do something for us out there? We can't make it to Bowling Green as easily. And so we decided to finally answer that call back, I think it was 2016 when we started LS Fest West. We picked a venue that we thought would be centrally located for people in that side of the country to be easy to access it. So Las Vegas Motor Speedway is close to most every state there. Arizona, California, the Northern California guys got a little bit of a drive, but it really works out. And we've had people come from, in Bowling Green, we get people from Canada, like that side of Canada. And then at West, we have people from the other side of Canada, like on the west side of the continent too. So, we have just a tremendous showing of people. We've had people come from Europe even. At East this past year, we had a group import their, I think it was a 500 cubic inch custom LS built BMW M3.
Yeah.
And participate in our drift challenge with it. And so, there's just all kinds of fanfare that the event receives. So obviously, we do autocross, we do drag racing, drifting. We have show and shine classes. We have a road course element. We do track X. We do burnout challenges. There and more is not an overstatement at all. There's a lot going on.
Man, Blane, you said it. I was there in a boots on the ground capacity. I was there working, covering the show, editorializing everything that was going on. And I had a chance to speak with several people there that had driven all the way from Canada, all over the country. And I guess that rolls into my next question. Like, how do you explain, you have an inside look at it because, you work for the company that put all of this on. And I'm sure you guys have metrics and how do you guys attribute the popularity that it's had, this LS platform? It seems to transcend make, model. I think you yourself, you have an LS swapped vehicle, right? How do you explain the popularity that you've seen and the growth that you guys have seen?
Well, I think it's easy to understand when you think about what the GM LS engine allows the enthusiast to accomplish. You have a platform that is, for all intents and purposes, compact. It responds well to any modifications that you do to allow it to ingest air and expel air a little bit easier. It's just easy to fit in a lot of places that people have engines that aren't making a lot of power, that aren't super reliable. And so if they can throw the purist bit out the window, and they don't mind putting something that is bow tie related in a European car, a Japanese car, a Ford, God forbid, we've seen Mopars, we've seen Volkswagens, we've seen rock crawlers, Jeeps, you name it. It's just kind of a ubiquitous power plant that kind of has found its way into everything out there, whether you're going to King of the Hammers, which just took place this past weekend out at Hammertown in Johnson Valley. The vast majority of the engines that you'll see out there, I just got a phone call here. There we go. They're LS power plants. And now you've got, the Coyote is out there, but it's not receiving the same amount of reception. It's larger. Yes, it has some cylinder head improvements, double array cam, but it makes it a little bit more bulky and difficult to fit into different power plants or to different applications. So
I do want to discuss the Coyote and everything you guys have going on with Ford, but Blane, earlier you touched on something that I think is really important, and it came up a couple times while I was at the show. I spoke with a few vendors out there, and they asked me because, like you, I have a finger on the pulse of this industry, and they said, hey, do you know of any other shows like this one? And I said, well, there's car shows all the time. What do you mean? And they said, well, this one's a lot more youthful. It's more like a party, like you said. And it really was. I mean, from the sideshow area, the burnout box, to the off-road area, everything was just, it had a youthful orientation, like this zeal, right, that I hadn't seen in many other shows. Do you think that has to do with the LS culture? Is there an LS culture? I mean, and is it more youthful? Is that what you guys are seeing?
I definitely would say that our participants, our spectators skew more youthfully than a typical, I don't know, street rod event or something like that. But I think the other thing that really helps it succeed is that, you know, even if you're skeptical on the LS, even if you're, you know, not really on that bandwagon, we had some media guys attend last year that were of that opinion, and they thought, oh man, all I'm going to see is a bunch of Corvettes, F-bodies, and Chevy trucks. Well, yeah, if you want to see that in it, that's what you'll see. But if you really come and open your eyes, you're going to see that and a lot more. And even though they're the same engine, roughly, they're going to sound different. People have so many different takes on how to put an LS into a whatever, and that really shows through in the type of vehicles that you see. And we kind of talked about that already, but you know, we've seen Karmann Ghias, Nissan Sentras, Mazda RX-7s, Miatas, and the like. The second reason for these events, though, becoming so popular, is that it gives folks that have created some kind of crazy vehicle like that, and it's really not crazy because so many people are doing this now, right? But you know, vehicle abominations, if you will. It gives them a place where they can come and be competitive and be in the midst of like-minded enthusiasts, drivers, and builders. And if you're debating on, you know, diving down the perceived rabbit hole of an LS swap, and I say perceived because we make so many products now that take a lot of the guesswork and research and development out of it. We've got engineers in the back that work on that every single day. It makes it a whole lot easier for you to get into something like that. But you'll be happy to know that that we're continuing to do that too. We're working on a lot of different platforms. We have, I think, 16 different applications for LS swaps currently and counting. So that's something that I think has really made our event popular. We were just kind of keen to hop on to something we knew was going to be a really big movement, and we wanted people to understand that we wanted to make parts for those, and we wanted to be their go-to source for anything LS related.
Well, I think you guys have accomplished that and then some. And something else that I think was really important that you just mentioned was that you're giving these enthusiasts an outlet, not one that was typically there before. You know, I mean, you might have an autocross event or you know, a drag racing event at a car show, but you didn't see things like a sideshow arena or a burnout box or, you know, like a short course all combined in one place. And I think that's really important because, you know, more and more we're seeing, especially here in California, up north, we would see, you know, reports of these sideshows happening on freeways and on public roads, you know, dangerous areas. And you guys have catered to this market segment that's important, and these people need to be acknowledged, but they need to be able to do it in a safe, controlled environment. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely. We were able to integrate the sideshow, aka the Donut Pit, I think we're calling it this year, into LS Fest for a couple of years now, and that gives people a good legal way to do some of the things that they're into, automotively speaking, and a chance to do that safely too. That's the other important thing. So yeah, that's been tremendously helpful for us too. That's boosted the car count up quite a bit, and really given a useful sense to the event also.
Well, Blane, I mean, I know that one was a party. I haven't been to East. I know it's larger, and I know you guys have some other shows in the works. Last year was the first of Intergalactic Ford Fest, and I don't want to jump ahead, but you were talking about everything you guys are doing with Fords. What can we expect for the coming year? What do you guys have going on, and what can people expect?
So Ford Festival. That is our NMRA Holley mashup. That's a joint effort with the guys over there. They've had a great thing going in the drag racing side of things for a number of years, decades, with Walcott and the guys over there at Blane. And so we wanted to do something along the lines of an event, a performance event for the Ford enthusiast. And where it differs from our other events that we do is we made that about anything Ford power. So instead of it being centered around a particular engine architecture, we just more loosely based it around a brand. And so anything that had a Ford engine in it, whether it was a 289, 302, 460, whatever, it was welcome at the event. And so that actually, if you think about it, has a lot more potential for growth than even LS Fest, considering how much wider of a scale of applications it can cater to. But we stepped in, and in addition to the drag racing, it was there, and they were already doing an autocross before that, but we were able to bring a couple of additional autocross elements to that event with our 3S challenge. We also brought in from St. Louis, Missouri. That's where the headquarters for Bigfoot is, and we were able to get the original Bigfoot #1, Bob Chandler's creation that started it all, to show up at the event. And we also promoted Vaughn Gittin Jr. and Chelsea DeNofa. They came out, the Fun Havers, Team RTR, and they were able to get ride-alongs. They were able to go out there and show people what drifting in those hopped-up Ford Mustangs is all about. And if that wasn't enough, we sent Bigfoot out there in the middle of the fray, so to speak, and they did donuts around Bigfoot. So
that's awesome.
That was pretty fun. And so we did drifting. Cletus McFarland, obviously, one of our good friends of YouTube fame, he came out to the event, and we were able to allow him to sponsor the Burnout Challenge there that we did at Ford Festival as well. And that received tremendous positive fanfare as well.
Hey, Blane, with all this stuff going on, I've always been curious, and you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. You don't have to dive into the nitty gritty, but how difficult is it? How difficult is it to do something like that? I mean, to get permits and insurance and have all these things going on where these professional drivers can give people rides and things like that. I mean, did you guys have any pushback? Is it fairly easy? What's that process like?
Well, what I would say is that having a city like Bowling Green, where we're headquartered, is tremendously helpful to have. One that has identified itself as a motorsports town. They're interested in events like this. A lot of other towns out there across America, quite frankly, aren't interested in doing something like what we're about. And so they see the value in it here in Bowling Green. And that's tremendously helpful to have. We've got NCM Motorsports Park here. We have Beach Bend Raceway. So we have our road course, 3.1 miles long. We have our autocross areas. We have Beach Bend, 1/4 mile long, and numerous events that take place as a result of that throughout the year. We're located here. You've got the Chevrolet Corvette built right here in town, the Corvette Museum. In addition to that, you've got motorcycle stuff going on with RC Components located here in town. And so it really is in our DNA as a city located here in Kentucky to cater to that. And so that's helpful to help pull an event like this off.
That's fantastic. I always thought, Southern California was like the epicenter of all things motorsports, but it really sounds like it's out there, man. Jeez, that's awesome. So, hey, Blane, while I have you on, there's some other things that I want to talk about, and I don't want to cut you short. If you have anything else to say about your show schedule, we can certainly talk about that some more. But there's something else that I found out about recently at NPMC when we had our meeting, and that's My Garage, right?
Yeah. So before we switch gears, one thing I would say is, so the LS Fest West is coming up April 24th, 25th, and 26th. That is, of course, in Las Vegas, Nevada at LVMS, right there close to Nellis Air Force Base. If you hop online at lsfest.com, you'll see two sites, two microsites pop up. You'll have LS Fest West on the left, and then you'll have LS Fest East on the right. LS Fest West has pre-registration that is open right now. So all of the packages that we have, whether it's autocross or any champion competition, if you want to submit a drift proposal, that is kind of like an exhibition type deal. We have to review those and get back with people. But we also have an off-road element at Las Vegas Motor Speedway that we have as well that kind of differs from some of our other events. All that's open to apply for or purchase a package for. And so, yeah, we're actually really, really ahead of last year as far as pre-registration is concerned. And so we're trying to plan accordingly for that and plan for our biggest year of LS Fest West ever.
Fantastic.
We hope that we're able to turn pre-registration on for LS Fest East in the coming months, as well as Ford Fest. And not to get too far ahead of myself, the dates for LS Fest East are September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And so mark your calendars for that as well if you're on the east side of the Mississippi. And from there, Ford Festival is coming up after that. And that will be taking place October 1st through the 4th.
Fantastic. Hey, something else that I think we should mention, because I received an email the other day. I believe LS Fest West is going to be going on at the same time as another big event in Las Vegas. So if you're planning on going out there, make sure you get your hotel room booked as soon as possible, because it might be in your best interest. So
so the draft, the NFL draft, is
That's
taking
right.
place in Vegas at the same time. So you can imagine, any kind of airfare or hotels or other reservations that you need to make. There might be a little NFL draft tax associated with that. So the sooner you can get that and lock that in, obviously, the better. And we obviously have a host hotel, the Cannery. It's about maybe 5 miles away max from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. They will still honor the LS Fest West rate. So make sure you call them and get a reservation there if you're planning on attending, whether you're participating or spectating.
fantastic, man. Well, that's awesome. Blane, thank you so much for breaking down your show schedule and talking to me about anything LS, Coyote, or otherwise. And now I want to switch gears and talk about My Garage. It's something really interesting, and I'll let you take it away, man. Go ahead and explain what it is and how it works.
Okay, so My Garage is basically in 6 seconds. It's Facebook for cars or automotive projects.
Okay, so we got it pulled up here, Blane.
It up on the screen there. Yeah,
Yep.
So that's the Holley website there, and if you see up there in kind of the header, there are 6 statements. One of those is My Garage. So if you click on that, this is what you'll see. And if you click on the Learn More there. Basically, it's about building a profile out for your vehicle, or dare I say, if you have the addiction that a lot of us have, you can build out multiple profiles for all of your vehicles. And from there, you can share your build stories, your future plans, whether it's an LS swap project, a Coyote swap project, whether you've got an old street rod, maybe you've got a circle track oriented vehicle or something like that, something off-road related. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's automotive. It can have 2 wheels, it can have 3, it can have 4 or more. We have a place for you there on Holley.com. So if you open up any one of those featured vehicles or something there, Vinny, we can take a look at the profile.
Yeah.
So I have no idea. I haven't looked at this profile before, but obviously this is someone's 4th gen F body. They've got some pictures there. You can upload as many pictures as you like. You can embed video. You can also do blog entries, so you can write copy for your build as well, and update people on what you have done, what you're doing currently, and what you plan on doing. And then another unique feature too is that you can actually put in the part numbers of Holley products, whether it's an LS swap or nitrous kit or Rolls plumbing, whatever. And you can actually associate the part numbers that you've used from Holley.com into your build. And people that want to build something similar, or maybe they want to follow your build to a point and then deviate, they can know exactly what you've used, and they can plan accordingly for their project.
That's awesome. Hey, Blane, so, in preparation for this episode, Greg and I went to the trouble of, creating an account and getting ready to kind of show our viewers how this whole process works. So would you mind walking us through? I know Greg has some assets loaded up. So
Okay. Let's see
Yeah.
here. So obviously you've got to open an account on Holley.com. That's basically just name, email, create a password, and then from there you can create a garage profile for your vehicle. You have to type in the year, make, model. We've got it even broken down into submodel and engine fields as well. You can tell us what color it is, drivetrain, horsepower, just all the basic data that you would want people to know about the car. And then scrolling down, you've got the opportunity to add photos. You can embed the video links that I mentioned as well. And what populating your profile out into a kind of a robust build thread will do for you is that, and you may have seen it on that red Firebird's profile there, was it had a build point score. And I think it was 43.
Oh,
but
cool.
The way that you improve your build score is by doing regular updates. The interaction that takes place on the profile, people can comment on it, ask you questions, tell you that it rocks, or maybe you should change those wheels or something. But needless to say, we have kind of an algorithm that associates a build score to the profile. And what we're hoping to do with that is eventually maybe feature different profiles that have attained a pretty decent build thread score or a build profile score, and also maybe do some sort of awards, some discount codes for free product or something like that, based off of how people have filled out their profiles and things like that. So it's a good way for us to interface with our customers and help them out a little bit along the way. You can also build wish lists for your vehicle too. So if you think like Amazon, you can build wish lists for Christmas or what have you. You can build as many wish lists on Holley.com as you like as well for those projects that you're trying to manage and get built, so you can get to the track or the show or otherwise.
Dude, that's awesome. It sounds like, man, you're making my job really easy. All I got to do is go onto my garage and find the coolest cars and reach out to these people. Hey, let's do a feature for Street Muscle. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, that's really cool, man. I think what you guys are doing is really continuing to tap into the enthusiast, headspace. These are things that enthusiasts want and need. I mean, from the shows that you guys got going on to this new fantastic forum, essentially, you guys are really offering everything that the enthusiast would want. I know that with the advent of Facebook and all these Facebook groups, it's kind of made the forum go the way of the dodo. But this is exactly, I think, the answer to that. And
it's nice to have a place that's I guess for gearheads by gearheads is the best way of putting it. I mean, obviously there are Facebook groups and things like that, but having something like this is nice. It's a nice networking tool as well for automotive enthusiasts that are kind of cut from the same cloth. Man,
that's awesome. I mean, dude, how long did that take you, Greg? 5 minutes, 3 minutes to set up your profile and add parts?
The coolest part I like is that you can just, type in digital 6 and it pulls up my part number and everything. Yeah, that took next to no time at all. That was insanely easy. It was stupid easy.
That was fantastic, man. Blane, I know that you mentioned that, looking ahead, you guys are planning on doing giveaways and things like that. Do you see this taking any other direction? What are some of your other goals for My Garage? How do you guys see that working?
I mean, we're going to keep adding to it as we can, as we perfect different tools and things to include in it, and really just benefit the consumer. I'm trying to look through my own profile here and see if there's anything I left out that would be pertinent to mention. But I mean, it's just a nice, robust platform through which you can cleanly keep things car focused from a social perspective. A lot of times on Facebook, you get stuck with, the political quagmire and, seeing a bunch of baby pictures from all your friends when all you're trying to do is build a fast car. And so this kind of gives you a nice place to segment the content out and keep it automotive related. So.
That's fantastic, man. I can't wait to create my profile. I know on, let's see,
I'm actually upset that you haven't done it yet.
I'm going to, especially because now that I'm thinking about it, all three of my projects all sport several Holley products, so I have a lot to put in there, and I'll let you know when I do. Hopefully, you guys will feature mine. But Blane, do you have any parting shots before we let you go, man? I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us about everything that's going on at Holley.
Yeah, no problem. Happy to do it. I guess what I would leave you guys with is just, a lot of people don't realize it until they hop on the website and see it for themselves. Maybe they're looking for a straight dash 6 fitting or something like that. But when you hop on the website and click on brands, Holley is made up of a lot of nostalgic, relevant brands that have been staples in the hot rodding industry for decades upon decades. So it's really, really impressive what you can find on Holley.com for all of the different types of vehicles. Whether you're into late model muscle, late model truck, LS swap stuff like we've been talking about the majority of this conversation. APR and Dynan are two European brands that are underneath the Holley umbrella now. And we've got turbochargers, we've got intercoolers, we've got cooling system upgrades, we've got cold air intakes, exhaust manifolds, exhaust like long tube headers, anything that you are going to be wanting to put on your vehicle, whether it's a race car or something that you just want to spruce up a little bit that you drive every day. We've got it. So hop on Holley.com and check it out, and you'll be amazed at what you find.
Fantastic, Blane. Thank you so much again, man. And before I let you go, what were those dates for LS Fest West coming up?
Yeah, so LS Fest West is April 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Okay, so everybody mark your calendars. Blane, thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you having you on, and we'll talk soon, brother. Peace.
All right, have a good one.
Oh, that was fantastic. Thank you for doing that, Greg. I appreciate you putting your own car on there. That was really cool.
Oh, no problem. It's really fun. Looking at it, it was stupid easy, especially since I don't remember my part numbers off the top of my head. It just auto-populated.
Yeah, man, that was really intuitive. It was it's fantastic. You didn't seem to have any hiccups or any trouble loading your photos, and those were like large files too.
Yeah. Well, I was really worried about is running the web show and trying to do that that could have been
that's
bad,
a lot of bandwidth on your computer, and it was still
it went nice and smooth. And it looks like we lost Vinny. But yeah, the LS West thing is really cool. Let me add Vinny back. There we go.
Yeah, what happened there, man? That was weird.
But LS West is really cool. Like, I remember when it all started, because it originally started just like the Holley Intergalactic Fest with NMRA and NMCA. And at the time I was working for Pro Media. And that thing has always just been amazing. And it blows me away, because you think if you were to limit a gathering to just one engine architecture, it would never work.
Right. Yeah.
But it does. Oh,
yeah.
Boy, does. And me, I'm a Ford guy. Like, everybody knows that. But the LS, it's better. So impressive. And I honestly have started feeling bad for people that are so locked into the whole brand wars and stuff that they can't look at an LS and appreciate it for what it is. Because
they're fantastic, man. Just like Blane and I were talking about, you have such a potentially powerful engine in a tiny package comparatively when you talk about the Coyote and the Gen 3 Hemi. It's just tiny.
Yeah. Well, the best part is there's that meme running around the internet with a 1.8 liter Miata engine right next to an LS on a scale. And it says, like, next time somebody says about your heavy V8, show them this.
These are facts, man. These are facts. And I'm not brand myopic. I find merit in everything. The Coyote's a fantastic engine. It just flows air like nobody's business. And, the low end grunt of the Gen 3 Hemi is, you can't argue with it. They all have their merits for sure. But I think, like Blane was saying, hell, how many years did they make the LS? From what, 98 till just now,
Yeah.
So you have decades to to go to the junkyard and pull one out of an old, wrecked truck or whatever and swap it into whatever you want for, a few $100s. And I think that's where that's where it's able to transcend make and model. The fact that it's small, the fact that they're cheap and easily modified. All those things working together, it makes it a no-brainer for an enthusiast.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I know this is going to get me, a whole bunch of nasty emails, but the LS engine is the Fox body of the engine world. I mean,
you want to go fast for cheap? Yeah.
You literally just described a Fox body Mustang, but as an engine.
Yeah, man. You go to any racetrack in America, it's going to be the fastest car there.
It's going to be probably an LS powered Fox body.
Yeah, exactly.
Just look at horsepower wars. That's
again a testament to exactly what we're talking about right now. It was great to have Blane on though and get an inside perspective from someone who's on the ground in terms of dealing with enthusiasts and creating this space for them that wasn't previously there. It was really cool. Sure.
And they've done a great job. And I mean, I know you haven't been to Bowling Green before, but it is an amazing town, and they love their motorsports. They love their cars.
I got to get out there, man.
Yeah, and plus they have the best barbecue I've ever had there. So,
well, that's a pretty weighty statement. I mean, I don't know. I've been to Texas, man. I don't know.
I'm saying it's the best I've ever had.
Okay,
and
all right.
I'm real picky. Anybody who's ever had a meal with me knows I'm really weird when it comes to food. So that's not. I mean, I'm not trying to start a fight. I'm just saying, the Smoky Pig. They know I love them.
Right on, man. Well, if I'm ever out there, I'll definitely check them out. So do we have anything else on the agenda, Greg? I know we met with Blane. That was fantastic. And we're in another 2 weeks. Oh, that's an announcement that we should make. So we've decided on episode 1, we weren't sure if we were going to do this as a monthly show, a weekly show. Greg and I working together, trying to figure out what frequency will work best for us and our current workload. And it's looking like a bi-weekly setup is going to work for us. That'll give us time to prepare and lock in our next guest. And so be on the lookout. Today we're doing it on Thursday because tomorrow's Valentine's Day. But every Friday at noon, or every other Friday, at noon, tune in, Street Muscle and Engine Labs Facebook. We'll be going live, RodCAST live. Is there anything I missed, Greg?
No, you pretty much nailed it all. Next week is probably going to be a little less structured show. Just having fun and talking about what's going on.
Yeah. This was cool because, we got to speak with an industry insider. And, like I mentioned in the first episode, we're going to have anyone from, possible YouTube personalities to folks who work in the industry, manufacturers, people who build cars, so builders, people who work on the editorial side like Greg and myself, and everybody in between. And so tune in. We'll announce a few days before who we're going to have on, what we're going to be doing, and tune in noon Pacific Central Time.
Yep, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah. So without further ado, we'll let you guys go, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Roll the music, Greg.